Shalom. I'll start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai Ba'ashem, Raruchakwadash. Double unto the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And I think I'm going to entitle this lesson, Spirits of Vengeance and Principalities. And it's based on this video put up by Jason A. And if you haven't, seen it, I'll definitely put a link to it in the description box. But apparently what's going on here in Babylon is inhabited by a bunch of demons, devils. And demon possession is at an all-time high. It's increasing. And it's a phenomenon that can only be explained by way of biblical prophecy. All right, we know that in these last days that it will be very evil. All right, we'll be in perilous times. Perilous times shall come. And it's a lot of unclean energy, a lot of evil spirits possessing these different people out here. We know that demons, they need vessels to inhabit. All right, they got to go from vessel to vessel to vessel. All right, and that's how they, get work done. And these spirits are part of our hierarchy because the scriptures refer to them as the principalities. And we're going to get into that. But I just want to explain that because a lot of people don't understand that this phenomenon is based on what the Lord pretty much prophesied would happen. All right. You're going to have lawlessness. Iniquity is going to abound and the love of many is going to wax cold. So you're going to see a lot of people that it seems as if, reason is far removed, or people are operating off of their impulse. They're not operating based off of reason, logic. People are not capable of showing restraint, self-control, because their flesh is getting the best of them and they're being ruled by unclean spirits. So it's definitely not safe out here in these streets. All right. So anyway, what I'll end up doing is I'll probably play like maybe a minute and a half of this video, and you can watch the rest of it. I'll put a link to it in the description box. So let's watch it and then put it in perspective in the scriptures.
Zoe, is it true that you have a new passion in life? Are you obsessed with ghosts?
I've accepted the fact that, I see things and I hear things.
Wait.
Colorado Springs man accused of stabbing his mother before lighting her house on fire was back in court today.
Court documents say Yahushua Graham confessed to killing his mother, telling police he was possessed by a demon before committing the crime. KRDO News Channel 13, Sean Rice is live at the El Paso County Courthouse with what we're now learning about this case.
Heather, Yahushua Graham claims he was possessed by a demon after having a conversation about religion with a friend of his. Today I spoke to that friend who didn't want to be on camera, but told me Yahushua killing his mother makes no sense to her. Colorado Springs police respond to Cheyenne Road on reports of a house fire and find a dead body. In the 12-page affidavit, investigators detail a jail phone call where Yahushua says a friend named Marion Fagan allegedly put a demon inside him. When officers interviewed Fagan, she said she gave Yahushua a crystal ball to, quote, help clear himself. I went directly to Fagan to ask her about his comments. He was possessed by a demon after an interaction here at your house. Fagan did not want to be filmed, but spoke to me for 30 minutes on her porch. She said she talked to him about coming to Christ. She said he accepted Christ and left in the early morning hours. Court documents also reveal a confession to a jail guard.
And that Christ word, man, there's a lot of demonic people that uses that name. All right. They're usually the ones that are demon possessed. All right, that Jesus Christ demon, showing you that there's no power in that name. If people that call upon that name is willing to be demon possessed, that's definitely not the name of the Lord. All right, that's a whole nother deity, and you put demons on yourself. All right, we heal, all right, through the true name of the Messiah, which his name is Yahushai. he delivers, or he is deliverer or savior. All right. And and people gonna find that out soon, man. All right. So let's continue.
Yarashka allegedly said, quote, "I want to confess to a crime. I know that I killed my mother." When investigators interviewed Yarashka, he told them, quote, "I was possessed by a demon. Drugs made me do it."
A man accused of stabbing a young girl last week also appeared in court today. That happened last Thursday near Sahara and Hollywood Boulevard. Police say the 4-year-old girl was stabbed 11 times. The man accused, Alan Wilson, told police he knew her and he was trying to save her life by getting the demons out. Zoe, is it true that you have a new passion in life? Are you obsessed with ghosts? I hear you are.
It's not really a new passion.
Okay, we're just finding out.
You're just kind of like finding out.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I've accepted the fact that like I see things and I hear things. And
Wait, do you
rather than
really?
things-
You've had like experiences?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Wow.
A lot of them over the years. Like even as a child growing up, like I remember being like getting ready for school when I was 8 years old, and there was like, you know, those ducks that like is like the duck thing that you pull, it's a toy.
Yeah.
There was one of those on the dining room table, and I started walking, and it just started like going alongside me, and I was like, interesting. And I kind of shut it down for a while because like it's scary. Like the unknown is scary. So you can't.
Yeah.
But
And these women are drawn to that type of stuff, man. They communicate with spirits, man. You know, and that's like, stand clear of a woman that always talk that spirituality crap. They deal with all type of symbols, and they deal with them on that left hand, man. All right, you could tell she's a straight up demon, a witch. And we ain't supposed to be doing that. The scriptures talk about, you know, dealing with you know, wizards and people that consult with familiar spirits, people that communicate with spirits. You know, that's all off. Those are different forms of witchcraft, and that can backfire and put demons on you. So I wouldn't mess with that, man. People be messing with Ouija boards and, you know, all type of instruments that actually taps in with these spirits. All right, matter of fact, let me get the law on that. We ain't supposed to be dealing around with that that realm. All right, let's get was it Deuteronomy 18? I think it's one of the chapters that go into it. Yeah, spiritism forbidden. Deuteronomy 18 verse 9. It says, "When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations," and primarily dealing with Ham. Ham, they were heavy into that. All right, they practice, you know, witchcraft, sorcery. You know, there was dealing with familiar spirits, trying to conjure up the dead. They worship the dead, and you see those pagan practices prevalent even in this day and time. A lot of our people still indulge in it. They got that from the heathen. All right, the Lord told us a long time ago to stay separate from that. Do not learn to do after these things. And that's why our people get jacked up. All right, so it says, verse 10, "There shall not be found among anyone, so like there shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter," somebody that puts spells on other individuals, "or a witch," and it tells you that in Exodus, "I suffer not a witch to live," or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits. You got Jake on this pro-black African, you know, way of living, where they, you know, Jake always talking about their ancestors. You know, the ancestors, my ancestors, you know. So Jake is all bugged out, but they learned that from the heathen. We're not supposed to be dealing with that. It says, or a wizard, or a necromancer, somebody that deals with the dead. For all that do those things or these things, are an abomination unto the Lord, and because of these abominations, the Lord thy power doeth drive them out from before thee. Talking about those Canaanites. All right, because they was heavy into those practices. You can read further in depth about it in Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter. All right, the ungodliness was on such a high level that the Lord was like, all right, that's enough. Now my sons can go in and actually wipe them out. And we were supposed to wipe them out, but, you know, Jake gonna be Jake. Didn't follow the instruction, and they left a remnant behind. And the practices that they were indulged in and the idols that they serve, it was left as a stumbling block to Jake. And that's why we ended up in captivity after captivity after captivity. And we're still yet this day in our captivity, because they're still indulged. All right, so Jake is going to get destroyed. So anyway, you know, that was the point I want to make. All right, not to tap into that, you know, spirituality bull crap, you know, that's prevalent among our people and among the heathen. All right, when it is Apostle Paul said it in to the church of Corinth, that the nations, they don't sacrifice to the Most High, they sacrifice to demons and not to the Most High. All right. So you can only imagine what the elite are doing on the left-hand side with their satanic priests. All right. The demons that they serve and worship. You know, they got that whole portal, that CERN portal, where they tap in, you know, and it's basically a gateway to the spiritual realm. So they're more than likely invoking more spirits from the spiritual realm into the earthly realm. They conjuring up all type of spirits, and that's why you see in a lot of people lose their freaking mind. People are getting totally possessed. I think that's part of the contribution to the behavior of a lot of these people. All right. And then you got these temples of Baal, you know, all type of satanic temples. You know, a lot of these witches casting spells. It's a lot of left-hand activity going on. But we know ultimately the Lord is allowing the principalities to take its course in the world. All right. And this ain't no old phenomenon. All right. But we are in the last days, so we're going to see more of these things be heightened. Let's go to real quick. Let's go to I'm trying to think of where the scripture is. Oh, Second Ezra. Let's go to Second Ezra 9 real quick. Second Ezra 9 and verse 5, it says, "For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs." All right, so the signs would determine how close we are to the end of this thing, you know, based on the strange wonders, you know, the effects and signs that we see in the world. You know, we constantly see changes in the earth. You know, it's starting to become more common to see the chariots, you know, which are the angels. You know, they trying to figure out why the UFOs is, you know, messing around with the nuclear facilities, you know, all over the world. We believe that's the angels holding back the winds of destruction. All right, so that, you know, not only the elect be sealed, but, you know, certain prophecies got to come to pass before the Lord bring the destruction. All right, but those things are happening, and the people that's trying to figure these things out, they deem it a strange phenomenon. All right, but then also, you know, you got strange weather patterns and, you know, all type of things, man. Apparitions, people seeing things, and then this phenomenon where demon possession is happening. So it's all here. All right, now let's go to Ephesians, because This is part of that spiritual warfare. All right, we're in the midst of a spiritual battle, man. And this is what Apostle Paul said. This is Ephesians chapter 6. And I'll start at verse 10, the armor of the Most High. Now, we got to stay equipped because, hey, we in the midst of it. We in the thick of it, man. Every day is a fight. And we're dealing not only with, physical foes, but also spiritual ones too. All right, you got to always be mindful and acknowledge that you're fighting a spiritual battle. This is Ephesians 6 and 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High. Put on that protection that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Because we know the devil always coming with tricks and schemes, all right, and strategies. And it's mainly to try to take you off course, to lead you astray away from the path, to entice you to sin and go off, to denounce your faith, your belief. And that spirit of unbelief, that's a demon. All right. People losing faith. And it tells you that in 2 Ezra 5 that faith will be barren in the earth. People will no longer believe. People leaving religion to go into atheism and witchcraft. And that's what's contributing to that lawless spirit, that's in the midst, man. All right. The love of many waxing cold, people not caring anymore, no compassion, no mercy, no restraint. All right. These people are being overthrown. They're being overtaken by the left-hand side. And if we make it through this, we overcame the wicked one. And the Apostle Paul was encouraging them and telling them this is how you pretty much strengthen yourself and protect yourself, from that onslaught of demons, evil angels. All right. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, all right, authorities, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. And that's the globalist elite, that have total authority and control over the world. And the whole world lives in wickedness. Under their rule, you see what's happening. It's just total lawlessness. That's how you know that the man of sin has been revealed, the man of lawlessness. All right. That's why, people are getting turned out. The children are getting turned out. All right. They're going after the children, taking away their innocence. They're trying to groom them up to be freaks and sexually perverse, immoral, crafting them to be a bunch of anti-messiahs, man. That's what this new age, this new era is all about. Turning the next generation out into Satanism. All right. So as long as that's a phenomenon, you're going to have an increase of wickedness. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest man is exalted. All right. It says, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And this is what we're up against. And a lot of these people, they do not understand that phenomenon, because a lot of these people, they're fleshly, they're carnal. They don't understand how spiritual things are. All right. But Satan plays upon these people's ignorance, and they don't have protection from it. But, we're in better position because we actually know we have that wisdom to guide us. All right. We have the comforter, which is these scriptures, to understand these phenomenons. So we know when spirits is trying to, creep up. We know when spirits are trying to attack, and that's what separates us from this world. All right. We have the true name of the Father and the Son. All right. We have the power of prayer. We know when to fast when we need to. Those are the different tools that's needed. That's something that this world, they don't practice, because they're under the rulers of the darkness of this world. Gross darkness covers the people. So they're not shielded from it. So they're being overtaken and used. Because, hey, like it says in Peter, 1 Peter 5, and was at verse 8, the devil as a roaring lion walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So he's going around making his rounds, man. And you seeing it. This dude, the demon took over this dude, and he went and stabbed up a 3-year-old girl 11 times, man. You know, that only that's a demon, you know, only a demon. Slakia, not a demon, demons. He was overtaken by them spirits, man. And that's what you call the principalities. That's what we're up against now. When you look up principalities, let's define that. It says a state ruled by a prince in traditional Christian angelology or angelology, the fifth highest order of the ninefold celestial hierarchy. So basically a hierarchy of spirits. Let me see something. Order of angels. Let me read this one. It says, principalities and powers in the Bible are levels of demons or the presence of demonic activity. These beings are real and their primary goal is to kill, injure, worry, destroy, vex, harass, irritate, confuse, frustrate, and bother humans. That's exactly what they do. This is all to get back at God for kicking the devil out of heaven. Okay, now here's the Christianity kicking in. No, that's not what that's going into, because if you really understand this truth, you would actually know that he controls all that. So let's real quick, let's get a quick pre on that. Let's go to real quick. Let's go to, hold up, let's go to, Salak. Let's go to Sirach 39 real quick. Let me see, let me go down to verse 28. Yeah, Salakia, sorry about that. I'm just resuming back to where I left off at. You know, Satan hindered me, and I had to stop the video, and then all type of distractions, all type of calls. So you see how Satan works, man. Showing you that what Apostle Paul said was very heavy. You know, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, man. You know, so Satan always going to try to attempt to hinder you. But that's what we got to deal with. But going back to the scripture, I want to get Sirach 39 verse 28. Because we read in that article, it got all, the Christian rhetoric of, the Most High casting Satan down. That's all Christian rhetoric. All right. The Most High is in control of these evil spirits. All right. And some of these spirits, they actually work on the left-hand side to do the very things that was said. All right. Whether they're used to deceive people, be a lying spirit to them, cause people to, slay other people. Because remember, the Lord said, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Right? And sometimes he do that through using these spirits. They're spirits created for vengeance. All right. Sirach 39 verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sword strokes. In a time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So when these judgments gets carried out, it appeases the wrath of the Most High. So for whatever reason, when an individual suffers that kind of evil, where somebody gets demon possessed and they, take a gun and shoot them up or stab them up or, kidnap them and torture them and do some heinous things to them. That's ultimately the vengeance of the Heavenly Father upon that individual. All right. You have to have done some things that accumulated that type of judgment. That's why it says in Job, whoever perish being innocent, aware what a righteous cut off. All right, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So spirits get on people for reasons, man. All right. It says fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. All right, and ultimately, it all goes back to punishment. All right, people being judged. So the Lord is increasing them evil spirits in the earth for judgment. And these people are not in enough fear, man. All right, these people are not in enough fear. So they're left open to these evils. So that's why we got to constantly be circumspect. All right, not walking as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. All right, and there's evil spirits being activated on a daily basis, and that's why, you're seeing the crime rate increase. It's not just that they're in a financial bind; it's because the spirits are getting on these people. A lot of these people took that juice, and we don't know what the hell that shit is doing to these people, man. But we know it's something left hand is going on. All right. You seeing more and more people die, all right, at the hands of people driving under influence. All right, people on substances. People got that potion floating through their veins. So you don't know what it's doing to these people spiritually. And it's altering their mind state and their behavior. So we're clearly in those perilous times, man. So we got to stay alert, be vigilant. All right, as the scriptures say, be vigilant and you be sober. All right, because these spirits, man, they out there, they're working. All right, and a lot of it is violent. And you could tell that a lot of these evil spirits are violent spirits, man. Spirits created for vengeance. Even when it tells you about that evil spirit that came upon Saul, what was influencing Saul to go after David? It was the evil spirit that came upon him. He kept a javelin in his hand because he wanted to kill David, man. He was demon possessed. So them spirits is all out there, man. All right. And that type of spirit, like the Lord said, to cast those type of spirits out, that comes by prayer and fasting, man. Was that Matthew 17? Yeah, this is Matthew 17 and verse I'll start at verse 14. It's dealing with that demoniac demon. It says, and when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed. For oft times he falleth into the fire and oft into the water. And they brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long will I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Yahushua, and you could tell he was annoyed because of their lack of faith. He knew that their faith wasn't where it needed to be. And Yahushua rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, Why could not we cast them out? And Yahushua said unto them, Because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say into this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. You know, so it's certain levels, showing you there's different levels of demons. The principality is a hierarchy. You know, it's levels to these different spirits. You got low level demons and you got even high level demons that is going to take prayer and fasting, man, to exorcise those demons away. All right, certain aromas, like is levels to it, man. These spirits are they're active, especially in these last days, as you know, things are increasing more and more intense. The demons are going to intensify. All right, so that's why we got to be turned up in the spirit. All right, there's a lot of death, a lot of judgment is going forth, and it's only going to get worse from here on out. All right, so you're going to see more children getting killed by their own parents. You know, demons telling their parents that, you know, my child is a devil. You know, you had a dude recently killed this child because he felt like the baby was gay or some shit. And how many times we done seen that? You know, so, you know, the Lord is you know, he's putting spirits on these people, man. All right, and they're not in their right mind, but the Lord uses them to carry out judgment. All right. See, the scriptures say evil men understand not judgment. You're not going to understand because you're a reprobate. But judgment happens because punishment is an equalizer for wickedness. All right. That's why judgment occurs. So it's going to continue to happen, man. And this phenomenon, all right, dealing with you know, these demon possessions is only going to get worse, man. So, you know, as for you brothers and you sisters, hey, you already know, keep the prayers going up, man. Pray that the Lord keep the evil from you, you know, protect you from evil, from the evil spirits that's out there, and to give you mercy, grant you mercy, because we need it, man. And we're not demon proof. All right. We're not demon proof. They can attack us at any moment. So, you know, Lord willing, this was Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the next lesson. Shalom.